Yeah, I will never play Destiny 2. I have seen how that game gatekeeps content, and I have seen the magnate bullet sponges that enemies turn into at higher levels, where it's just like, oh, here's a level 50 raid. I hope you guys are ready to be shooting at this giant mechanical spider for 8 minutes, you know? Fuck that. Okay? Fuck that, alright? Shooters are only fun when shit dies quickly. This was the problem with Borderlands 2, okay? Shooters are meant to be fun and snappy. Headshot, 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 you know? If an enemy's like, alright, I'm the boss boy. Alright, here, I have 15 minutes of continual fire worth of health. Let's go. Then it stops being fun. It's just not fun anymore. Borderlands 3 does it better. I only played late game Borderlands 2. The fun of Borderlands, you make stupid builds and melt shit. Yeah, and like past a certain point, I don't know. Maybe this is what I didn't like so much about late game Warframe as well, you know? So you didn't like the Doom Eternal bosses? Nah, the Doom Eternal bosses didn't have this problem. First of all, in a regular single-player game, you fight a boss, like, once, basically. Like, it's a boss in a story moment, whereas in an MMO, like Destiny, you might have to grind it, you know? Which can mean, like, things get really tiring really quickly. What about Hades? Nothing that I'm talking about right now applies to Hades at all. It's not even remotely related. Also, Hades bosses tend to melt pretty quickly. Like, even at Heat 16, even the final boss, Hades, I think would die in a couple of minutes, you know? If you had a decent build. I mean, if you had a shit build, then... You're currently playing a game with extremely spongy bosses? Yeah, but this game isn't a shooter. What are you shooting? Oh, I'm sorry. Is Hades a shooter because you can have a crossbow as an equipable weapon there? Jesus. In this game, all the combat is done with you locked on to enemies. Shooting is... It'd be like calling Tomb Raider a shooter. It's not. It's the primary function of gameplay is movement, not aiming and shooting. It is literally an FPS. It is not a shooter. Yeah, is Binding of Isaac a shooter? It's a first-person game, there's shooting. You might as well call Portal a first-person shooter. It's not just about first-person perspective plus there's a gun, you know? It's Mirror's Edge in FPS? No, it's about the operative way you engage with the game, the primary mechanism by which you engage with it. Portal's a first-person shooter? No, it's a first-person puzzle platformer. Okay, so do you guys literally just think FPS means the game is in first person and there's some kind of fireable projectile? So Thief 2, that's a first-person shooter. Oh no, never mind. I don't want to argue. No, never mind. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't want to argue about it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad, and it's fine. Why is it called a Portal gun? Because it's a gun. That doesn't make it a first-person shooter. A first-person shooter is a genre, not just a description of the fucking camera and tools used. The devs of Metroid Prime said it wasn't FPS. Wait, is that true? Hold on. Devs, Metroid Prime, FPS. Is that true? And on the Wikipedia page, it specifically says its genre is action-adventure as opposed to first-person shooter. Whereas if you go to the Wikipedia page for, like, Doom Eternal, which also has action-adventure elements, it says first-person shooter. I mean, see, that's Doom Eternal. And then here's Metroid Prime. Just shooting isn't, like, the... It's not the primary... Oh! Nintendo classifies the game as a first-person adventure rather than a first-person shooter. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh, thank you. Oh, I fucking love... I love being right all the time with everything that I believe in all contexts with absolutely no exceptions anytime ever. Oh my god, it feels so fucking good. You should try the Xenoblade series. I'm sorry, I've seen Donkey's video on Xenoblade Chronicles, and no thanks, okay? I don't want to get called a sex pest any more than I already do. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Buying that game should add you to a registry or something, I swear to God. That game might actually be more predictive of future harm to children, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, than being on a sex offender registry. Like, you should have to go to your neighbors and tell them you bought fucking Xenoblade. I've been playing lots of Monster Hunter World. I've played Monster Hunter World. I like Monster Hunter World a lot. Monster Hunter World is one of those games where I really, really don't mind bosses being huge health sponges because everything in the game is built around that, from the mechanics to the genre to everything. What's the most problematic game? I don't know if I enjoy any problematic games. You mean like reactionary? I don't know if I play any games that are politically reactionary. I've played Risk of Rain 2, but not on stream. Maybe not, at least for long. Look at the game you're playing right now. This isn't a shooter. It's not a first-person shooter. It's not. We confirmed this earlier. The point of this game is not the gunplay. It's the exploration. That is the point of this game. The point of Halo is shooting things. It's a game where you shoot with a gun the first person. We have had this conversation, and you guys lost the first time, okay? We do not need to do this again. I do not need to epically own another generation of snot-nosed VGG chatters who think that first-person shooter, the genre, is defined by the mere existence of a first-person camera and some kind of fireable object. In which case, Thief 2 would then be a first-person shooter, as would Portal. Oh, do you guys love playing the first-person shooter game, Portal? Yeah, it's my favorite FPS. These are the genres we refer to them as. Yes, FPS. They're FPS? Really? Thief 2... Wikipedia. Don't they have a genre section down here? Let's see. Okay, wait. Thief 2 does have a first-person shooter tag. Shh. Metroid Prime. Wikipedia. Thank you. Right here. Action adventure. Not first-person shooter. Loser. Loser. Says right here. Right fucking here. Okay? Nintendo classifies the game as a first-person adventure rather than a first-person shooter. It was released in North America. Hey, guys, what's your favorite Skyrim? Skyrim. My favorite first-person shooter, Skyrim. First-person shooter. Yeah, because you can shoot stuff and there's a first-person perspective. And that's what first-person shooter, the term, is. It doesn't refer to a genre. It merely refers to a collection of two ingredients. First-person view and shooting. That's why Portal, which everyone refers to as a puzzle game or a puzzle platformer game, is actually a first-person shooter. It's exactly the same as Doom. It's in the exact same genre as Doom. They're categorically identical. In fact, I'm pretty confident that they were the same game until they got split up prior to development to make more money. Is a puzzle platforming FPS? Stop defining games by their... Never mind. You're literally shooting things to destroy them while you're saying this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, did you know that Mario was an RPG because you can choose to get the mushroom upgrade? RPG has decisions that allow you to upgrade your character. Oh my god, oh my god, guys. Did you know that Pathologic 2 is a first-person shooter, but it's also an RPG and it's also a platformer, because in the one part you have to jump on the thing. It's a platformer. It's a platformer game. Actually, everything is every genre, because most games these days carry conventions from pretty much every type of game. But the shooting is integral? The shooting is not integral to Pathologic. You can beat the whole game with a scalpel. What's integral to Pathologic is the decision-making. It's an exercise in suffering, okay? Metroid is not about the shooting. That is why you don't aim in this game. I'm only aiming because this is modded to have mouse and keyboard controls. In the original, not only can you not even look on the Y-axis, you lock on. Every fight involves you locking on. You will never not lock on. In every single fight, it is optimal to lock on to the enemy and then spam the fire button, okay? It is not about the shooting, because the only reason first-person shooters employ that framework as a concept is so you can aim. That's where the challenge comes from. The challenge of Metroid Prime is not aiming, because nobody aims. If shooting is important, then beat the game without shooting. Then beat Pathologic without jumping. Every game, then, that has a jump command is therefore a platformer, yes? Is Apex Legends an FPS or a Battle Royale? It's a Battle Royale. And also a waste of time. I don't think you know how game genres work. Even if you were to fit Apex Legends into multiple genres, I genuinely don't think first-person shooter is an apt description of Metroid Prime. I've never described Metroid Prime as a first-person shooter. I have referred to it as a first-person Metroidvania. Can we just agree that you're all wrong? Is Call of Duty no longer an FPS when you use an aimbot? This just gives you an aimbot toggle. If the default game of Call of Duty had a button you could press that would instantly aimbot with no aiming required, then that game would probably stop being a first-person shooter, like, as its primary... But The game only has first-person shooting now, so it would just kind of be a waste of time. This is as stupid as the same Ben Shapiro rap music isn't music argument. No, it's not! First-person shooter as a genre does not simply refer to the camera perspective and the fact that there's something that you shoot, okay? Apex Legends, the gameplay of Apex Legends is defined through it being a shooter and through it being a battle royale. But nobody describes Metroid Prime as through its like that's the thing, it's a shooter. Like that's just not the thing people sell it on. It's not even referred to as a first-person shooter by Nintendo. I don't think FPS is an accurate description, but it's an accurate descriptor of things that you can do in it, but not as a genre. I think you all just want to be contrarian, frankly. I have never in my life heard of anyone refer to fucking Metroid Prime as an FPS. I've never heard that description levied in service of this game. You literally just heard hundreds of people saying, I really feel like if this conversation had never come up, like if I hadn't made mention of it, like I was like, hey, so how would you describe this game? People would be like, oh, you know, it's action adventure, it's like a Metroidvania, like you guys would say that. I genuinely don't think people would be blaspheming. Pretty sure Game Maker's Toolkit described Metroid Prime and Portal as unconventional FPSs. Nobody refers to it that way. Whatever. Is Portal an FPS? No, it's a fucking puzzle platformer. Chat clearly does. Chat will do anything to irritate me, and therefore its opinions on this subject, as is the case with its opinions on every subject, are utterly worthless. Thank you. Alright, we're settled. It's all good. How is it a platformer if puzzle is the integral part? I don't think you understand. When you're actually playing Metroid Prime, like, shooting is not, like, mechanically the focus of the game. It's not just that it's not the focus. It's they deliberately de-emphasize it by giving you fucking auto-aim. Or like, a flawless lock-on. A defining feature of the genre is player-guided navigation through a three-dimensional space. Alright, bro, you heard it here first. Any game where you navigate through 3D spaces and FPS get owned? Yeah. What about without the auto-aim? If this game did not have auto-aim, I would be much more comfortable referring to it as a first-person shooter, because that would actually mean that the shooting is a mechanical focus of the game, rather than just a tool through which you navigate the environment. It would be like calling the It would be like calling a Hollow Knight a brawler, because both of them are defined by, like, melee combat, you know? Is Fallout New Vegas not an FPS RPG hybrid because VATS exist? VATS is utterly incomparable to the auto-aim that you have in this game. Are we somehow stuck on FPS again? Somehow. Hollow Knight's an RPG because you upgrade your stats, actually. Well, yeah, I would even argue that, like, Hollow Knight is barely an RPG. You don't roleplay. Well, actually, come to think of it now, RPG is kind of a dead term, isn't it? Does anything mean RPG at this point anymore? Because, like, every game has upgrade elements. Everything does. Like, every fucking game has upgrade elements. If you take the term at its semantic meaning, which is role-playing game, then it seems like it would have to be the kind of game that you can make meaningful decisions in. But what's the threshold for meaningful? Because, like, for example, you can make decisions in the, what are they called? The ones where you... The game where they use, like, magical whale lard as fuel, and you're an assassin man, but you're the queen's bodyguard, and then... Dishonored, yeah. Is Dishonored an RPG? Because, like, the only real influence you have over the shit, like, story-wise, is, like, do you kill or do you stealth? You know? Like, do you kill or do you stealth? Okay. Literally, yes. Role-playing game... Is that the only role necessary? Yeah, immersive sim seems like it would be more of a descriptor. An immersive sim is like Deus Ex. It's a game not necessarily with RPG elements, but one where it's usually first person and you have levels are large and sprawling with a ton of creative solutions to get from A to B. Yeah, Prey. Prey is also an immersive sim. And it does have RPG elements, but when I think of, like, the only real RPG elements there are in Prey is, like, do you escape early, blow the whole thing up, this, that, or the other? Do you kill the humans? No. But, like, is this really playing a role, or are these just, you know, basic story-driven, morality coding, you know, yes-no answers to tick along a line? What do they mean, really? I'm a genre abolitionist? Yeah, well, that's fair, too. Like, Skyrim. In Skyrim, you know, you can do a lot more to do role-playing, because as shallow as that game is, you know, you can choose where to live and who to marry, and you might be Stormcloak, or you can be this. But then you have to remember that Skyrim is bad. You know, which is relevant, I think, to the considerations. So then what should we call games that have basic upgrade mechanics, you know? Just every game? Like, that's just everything? Just all the time? All games? Yes. Sure, but Final Fantasy is called an RPG and you can't decide shit. Yeah, hey! And Final Fantasy games are called RPGs, but you can't decide shit. Yeah, in Final Fantasy games, the only thing that you can decide is how seriously you want to take the horrible voice acting. That's it, you know? You decide their name. Sometimes. Yeah, maybe that's why they call them JRPGs. Yeah, your decision is whether or not you actually play it. That's the... I just don't think that upgrading elements should be the threshold behind which we determine whether or not something's an RPG, because literally fucking everything. They say, has RPG elements. What doesn't have RPG elements? Well, Gale, I'm saying that's fucking meaningless, because everything has RPG elements by that definition. Like, everything. Shooters, platformers, action-adventure games, everything has some codified fucking upgrade shit. Skill trees, you know, resource crafting. It's like crafting. Doesn't every game have fucking crafting now? It's always like, you know, crafting and resource management, the fucking bane of modern gaming. Oh, dude, if you crawl through the... Oh my god, dude, here's an open level, and you'll find these reagents scattered around it, and if you look extra super-duper hard, then you can find the little room that has the extra thing, and that gives you that. Fuck you. Metroid Prime is a Strand-type game. True. Turn two things into one thing. Yes, let's take all of our beautiful pacing and level design and grind it to a fucking halt by making all the players trawl through the outer edges of every single fucking room that we build so they don't miss the last pack of ammo, so they don't miss this, so they don't miss that. Oh my god, you ran out of ammo during this encounter? Should have looked under the 17th counter in the previous office building level where every single fucking room was variably jammed with fucking bullshit. Oh my god, I'm soying. This is good Fallout criticism. Dude, and here's the best part, okay? If, instead of hiding cool stuff in every area, we break it down into crafting materials where it takes an umpteen fuckton to construct anything of worth, we can just put it everywhere. So that rather than having large upgrades found in areas that are interesting and difficult to access, we can actually have bullshit strewn absolutely fucking everywhere, and because you need 1,000 pieces of bullshit in order to craft the bullshitinator, people will like it, because it'll be like progress driven, and human brains are designed to be wired to enjoy it when numbers go up. So this way we don't have to worry about intelligent placement or good crafting or placement or fucking pacing or anything like that, you know? We can just dump shit everywhere. Scrap. Doesn't everyone... Scrap. Let's scrap. You want shit? Here's some scrap. You want scrap? Here's some scrap. 10,000 scrap for the next weapon upgrade. 12% faster reload. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! 12% faster reload. Let's go! Seems like an attack on survival game / Rust. Well, Rust isn't really a survival game. It's like a multiplayer door shoot game, right? I don't really think that's comparable. For survival games, that's the point. Yeah, but it needs to be actual, like, survival, not fucking Fallout or some bullshit, okay? This shit is okay in games like The Forest, you know? In games like The Forest, where you, A, actually do have to survive, and B, like... Listen, I respect the fuck, alright? Out of games where they make the foraging elements, you know, fit in with the feel of the game. Like, nothing about Fallout makes you feel like you should be carrying around scrap for base building or fucking whatever stupid fucking bullshit they add in every single fucking game. Surprised they don't have like a dating sim in there either. What was I talking about? That's what I was swearing. Okay, so anyway, whatever bullshit that is, they kind of do. Okay, never mind, they do. Of course they do. Anyway, you can date people, dumbass. Dating sims are not the same as being able to pursue 3 fucking lines of dialogue. Oh, I fucking hate you people. Dude, they do have a dating sim. If you when you go up to the sweaty ass cheek, the town brothel, and one of the girls says, "Fancy a drink, a cheek me bum, me love." And you can choose the girlfriend option. She becomes your girlfriend, and she gets added to your base, and you get +1 charisma whenever you... I hate you guys so much. You have no fucking idea how much I hate you. Fucking hate you. Anyway, if the game actually does its shit good, okay? It's fucking, crafting. Dr. Fauci. That's fine, okay? Most of them don't. Also, pretty quickly, crafting in the forest stops meaning shit, you know? Most of the stuff you craft in the forest, it's... Oh, fuck. Most of the stuff you craft in the forest, it's like, here's a stick, 2 sticks, 3 sticks, now you can build the big stick. You know? And then you stop doing that 10 minutes in. And then after that, it's like, you find real upgrades, like the big axe, you know? That's fine. Dr. Fauci. Is life an FPS? Well, life is played from a first-person perspective. And, I have shot firearms before, so... Aren't all games action adventures? Because, you know, all games do have action, and you do go on an adventure.
Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I see